Every retiree who loves cars dreams of that one perfect restoration. The garage project that finally gives you the car you always wanted. But here's the truth that nobody talks about. 73% of retirement restoration projects never get finished. Meet Robert Chen from Sacramento, California. At 62, he bought a 1967 Shelby GT 500 project for $45,000. 3 years later, he's $78,000 deep with a car that still won't start. The parts are impossible to find. The bodywork requires specialty skills he doesn't have. His dream car became a financial nightmare. You're about to discover the 5-rule framework that separates successful retirement restorations from garage queens that drain your savings. One rule will shock you. Another could save you $50,000, and at the end, we'll reveal the one car that's perfect for retirement restoration, the model that combines affordability, parts availability, and pure driving joy. Here's what the classic car industry won't tell you. They profit from your mistakes. Auction houses push rare, expensive projects because commissions are higher. Parts suppliers love selling you into obscure models with $500 door handles. Restoration shops prefer complex European cars that require 500 hours of labor. But retirement restoration isn't about impressing Barrett-Jackson bidders. It's about the satisfaction of creation, the pride of driving what you built, and the memories you'll make in your garage. The problem? Most retirees approach car buying like they're 25 years old with unlimited time and money. Reality check. You have finite resources and finite time. Every dollar wasted on the wrong car is a dollar stolen from your retirement. Every month spent hunting for impossible parts is a month not driving your finished project. The smart money follows a proven framework. 5 rules that filter out the heartbreak and focus on the joy. Stick around, because rule number 1 will change how you think about classic car value forever. Rule number 5. Buy for availability, not rarity. Parts cost will make or break your project. Picture this: you find a 1971 Charger RT shell for cheap, thinking you've scored the deal of a lifetime. 6 months later, you discover a single fender costs $2,000 and takes 6 months to find. The grill? $3,500 if you can locate one. Suddenly, your bargain project needs $15,000 in sheet metal alone. Meanwhile, you can get reproduction parts for a 1967 Camaro delivered to your door in 48 hours. Fenders cost $300. Grills cost $150. Complete interior kits cost $800. The difference? The Camaro sold 220,000 units in 1967. The Charger RT? Just 3,118 units. Here's the brutal math. Rare cars have rare parts with rare prices. Common cars have common parts with common prices. The aftermarket follows demand. When 50,000 people restore Mustangs, companies invest in tooling for reproduction parts. When 500 people restore Studebaker Avantis, you're hunting junkyards and paying premium prices for used parts. Smart retirees buy cars with thriving aftermarket support. You want multiple suppliers competing for your business, not one guy in Nebraska who owns the only good grill in existence. But parts availability means nothing if you ignore rule number 4. Rule number 4, buy complete, not cheap. Missing parts cost more than complete cars. You're browsing Craigslist and find a 1969 Mustang Fastback for $8,000. Great price, right? Wrong. The engine is missing. The transmission is gone. The interior was stripped. The wiring harness was cut. What looks like a bargain becomes a $25,000 parts hunt. Compare that to a complete running 1969 Mustang for $18,000. Yes, it needs paint and some mechanical work, but every major component is there. The math is simple. 18,000 complete beats 8,000 incomplete every single time. Here's what missing parts really cost. 289 V8 engine, $4,500 rebuilt. C4 transmission, $1,800 rebuilt. Complete interior, $2,200 reproduction. Wiring harness, $800 new. Miscellaneous trim and hardware, $3,000 minimum. Total, $12,300 just to get back to where the complete car started. But here's the hidden cost nobody talks about. Time. Sourcing missing parts takes months. Every week spent hunting parts is a week not working on your car. At 65 years old, time is your most valuable resource. Professional restorers know this secret. Buy the most complete car you can afford, even if it costs more upfront. Your future self will thank you when you're driving instead of shopping. Speaking of shopping smart, rule number 3 separates the wise from the wishful. Rule number 3. Match your skills and tools. Your garage determines your project, not your dreams. A retiree buys a 1970 Jaguar E-Type, thinking he'll learn as he goes. 6 months later, he discovers he needs $10,000 worth of specialty tools just to adjust the valves. The Lucas electrical system requires diagnostic equipment he doesn't own. The independent rear suspension needs alignment fixtures that cost more than his car. Meanwhile, American muscle cars from the 1960s and 1970s were designed to be fixed with basic hand tools. A small block Chevy uses the same socket set, whether it's in a Camaro, Chevelle, or Nova. No specialty tools, no exotic procedures, no $500 per hour specialists. Here's the skills assessment every retiree should take. Can you rebuild a carburetor? American muscle cars use simple 4-barrel carbs. Can you adjust points ignition? Most muscle cars use basic distributors. Can you work with body filler? American steel is forgiving and straightforward. Do you have basic welding skills? Patch panels are bolt-in or simple welds. If you answered yes to most of these, American muscle cars are your sweet spot. If you answered no, consider cars that need cosmetic work rather than mechanical rebuilds. European exotics require specialized knowledge that takes years to develop. Japanese classics need metric tools and different techniques. American iron? It's designed for the home mechanic with standard tools and straightforward procedures. But even the right tools can't save you if you ignore this next rule. And it's the one that separates finished restorations from half-finished regrets. Rule number 2. Buy the best you can afford. Cheap projects aren't cheap. That $3,500 Camaro shell looks tempting until you realize it needs everything. The frame is bent, the floors are gone, the quarters are rusted through. What seemed like a bargain becomes a $40,000 restoration that's worth $25,000 when finished. Smart money buys the best original car available, even if it costs $15,000 instead of $3,500. Here's why. Every dollar spent on a better starting point saves $3 in restoration costs. A solid, rust-free car with good bones needs paint, interior, and mechanical refresh. Total cost, $15,000 to $20,000. A rust bucket needs structural work, new panels, frame repair, and everything else. Total cost, $35,000 to $50,000. The math is brutal but simple. Rust never sleeps, and bodywork costs $100 per hour. Here's the inspection checklist that saves fortunes. Frame, look for rust, damage, or previous repairs. Floors, original metal beats patch panels every time. Quarters, reproduction panels cost $800 each plus labor. Engine bay, numbers matching engines add value and authenticity. Interior, original pieces are irreplaceable. Professional restorers follow this rule religiously. Buy the best car you can afford, then make it better. Amateur restorers buy the cheapest car they can find, then discover why it was cheap. Your retirement budget has limits. Spend wisely on the purchase and you'll have money left for the fun parts. Performance upgrades, custom touches, and driving experiences. But even a perfect car purchase can fail if you ignore the most important rule of all. Rule number 1. Set a realistic budget and timeline. This is where dreams meet reality, and reality usually wins. You budget $20,000 for your Mustang restoration. Sounds reasonable, right? Wrong. The average muscle car restoration costs $35,000 and takes a year. That's not including your labor. That's just parts and professional services you can't do yourself. Here's the breakdown that shocks every first-time restorer. Paint and bodywork, $8,000 to $15,000 professional. Engine rebuild, $4,500 to $8,000 depending on performance level. Transmission rebuild, $1,800 to $3,500 for automatics. Interior restoration, $3,000 to $6,000 for quality materials. Chrome and trim, $2,000 to $4,000 for replating. Miscellaneous parts and supplies, $5,000 minimum. Total, $24,300 to $42,000 just in major components. But here's the hidden killer. Scope creep. You start with a basic restoration, then decide you want air conditioning. Add $2,500. Then you want a modern stereo system. Add $1,500. Then you want upgraded suspension. Add $3,000. Professional project managers know this secret. Add 50% to your budget and 100% to your timeline. If you budget $20,000, plan for $30,000. If you estimate 6 months, plan for a year. The timeline reality is even harsher. Most retirees work 10 hours per week on their projects. A 500-hour restoration takes 50 weeks of consistent work. But life intervenes. Vacations, health issues, family obligations, weather delays. Smart restorers set milestone budgets. $10,000 for disassembly and assessment, $15,000 for bodywork, $10,000 for mechanical, $5,000 for final assembly. When you hit a milestone, you evaluate progress and adjust expectations. The goal isn't to spend less money, it's to spend money wisely and finish what you start. The perfect retirement restoration car. Now, for the moment you've been waiting for the perfect retirement restoration car. After analyzing parts availability, restoration cost, skill requirements, and community support, one car rises above all others for retirees: the Ford Mustang, specifically the 1965 to 1970 models. Here's why the Mustang dominates every category. Parts availability: Ford sold 2.8 million first-generation Mustangs. The aftermarket is massive. You can build an entire car from reproduction parts if needed. Every component is available from multiple suppliers, keeping prices competitive. Skill requirements: the Mustang was designed for simplicity. Small block V8 engines use basic tools. The suspension is straightforward. The electrical system is simple. No exotic procedures or specialty equipment required. Budget-friendly: a solid 1967 Mustang Coupe starts around $15,000. A fastback might cost $25,000. Compare that to $45,000 for a comparable Camaro or $60,000 for a Challenger. Community support: the Mustang community is the largest in the classic car world. Local clubs in every city, national events every weekend, online forums with thousands of experts ready to help. Resale value: Mustangs hold their value better than almost any classic car. Your restoration investment is protected. But here's the secret sauce: the Mustang is forgiving. Make a mistake? Parts are cheap and available. Need help? Experts are everywhere. Want to upgrade? The performance aftermarket is endless. From the 1965 Coupe to the 1970 Fastback, it's the perfect blend of availability, community support, and resale value. It's not just the best car to restore in retirement, it's the most forgiving first restoration car, period. Alternative recommendations: but maybe Mustangs aren't your style. Here are the runner-up choices that follow our 5-rule framework. Second place, 1967 to 1969 Chevrolet Camaro. Excellent parts support, strong community, reasonable entry prices. The downside: slightly more expensive than Mustangs and more complex suspension design. Third place, 1968 to 1972 Chevrolet Chevelle. Big car comfort, simple mechanics, affordable entry point. The challenge: heavier than pony cars, so more work to handle well. Fourth place, 1970 to 1974 Plymouth Barracuda. Undervalued in the market, good parts availability, distinctive styling. The risk: smaller community support and higher entry prices for desirable models. Fifth place, 1964 to 1972 Chevrolet El Camino. Unique car-truck hybrid, practical for hauling parts, strong aftermarket. The limitation: smaller enthusiast community and limited interior options. Notice what's not on this list: exotic Europeans, rare muscle cars, or anything that requires specialty knowledge. Those cars are beautiful, but they're not retirement friendly. The pattern is clear: successful retirement restorations focus on popular American cars from the muscle car era. They have the parts, the community, and the knowledge base to support your project from start to finish. Common mistakes to avoid. Before you start shopping, here are the 5 biggest mistakes that derail retirement restorations. Mistake number 1: buying with your heart instead of your head. That 1970 Plymouth Cuda looks amazing, but can you afford the $3,000 grille and $5,000 rear spoiler? Emotion makes expensive decisions. Mistake number 2: underestimating bodywork costs. Rust repair costs $100 per hour, and rust is always worse than it looks. A small rust spot becomes a $2,000 quarter panel replacement. Mistake number 3: starting multiple projects. Focus beats variety every time. Finish one car before starting another, or you'll have 2 half-finished projects instead of 1 completed restoration. Mistake number 4: ignoring the spouse factor. Restoration projects consume time, money, and garage space. Get family buy-in before you start, or your project becomes a relationship problem. Mistake number 5: perfectionism paralysis. Good enough is better than perfect if perfect means never finishing. Set realistic standards and stick to them. The goal is driving your restoration, not winning concours d'elegance. Every hour spent chasing perfection is an hour not spent enjoying your completed car. Professional restorers know this secret. Finished beats perfect every single time. The financial reality check. Let's talk money because retirement budgets have limits. A realistic Mustang restoration budget looks like this. Purchase price, $15,000 for a solid coupe. Paint and bodywork, $8,000 professional, $3,000 DIY. Engine refresh, $3,500 for rebuild, $1,500 for cleanup. Interior, $2,500 for quality reproduction. Chrome and trim, $2,000 for replating. Miscellaneous, $3,000 for unexpected discoveries. Total $34,000 professional, $27,000 DIY. Compare that to exotic alternatives. Jaguar E-Type, $75,000 minimum. Porsche 911, $65,000 average. Ferrari anything, $100,000 starting point. The Mustang delivers 80% of the satisfaction at 40% of the cost. But here's the retirement reality. You're not building an investment, you're building memories. The car that brings the most joy per dollar is the car that gets finished and driven. Financial advisors recommend limiting hobby spending to 5% of retirement assets. If you have $500,000 saved, that's $25,000 for your car hobby. A Mustang restoration fits perfectly. An exotic restoration blows the budget and threatens your financial security. Smart retirees buy cars they can afford to finish, not cars that look impressive sitting incomplete. The timeline reality. Now let's discuss time, because retirement time is precious. A typical Mustang restoration timeline. Weeks 1 through 3. Disassembly and assessment. Weeks 4 to 12. Bodywork and paint. Weeks 13 to 18. Mechanical rebuild. Weeks 19 to 24. Reassembly and debugging. Weeks 25 to 30. Final details and sorting. Total 7 months working 10 hours per week. But life happens. Health issues, family obligations, weather delays, parts delays. Add 50% buffer time, at least a year realistic completion. Time could increase into years with exotic alternatives like Jaguar E-Type, Porsche 911, Ferrari anything. The complexity multiplies the timeline. Every specialty procedure adds months. Every hard-to-find part adds delays. At 65 years old, a 4-year project means driving your restoration at 69. Time is your most valuable retirement asset. Spend it on projects you can finish and enjoy, not projects that consume your remaining active years. Resolution and cultural aftermath. Today, restoration isn't about speed records or profit margins. It's about the joy of creation, the pride of driving what you built, and the memories you'll make along the way. By choosing smart, you're not just saving money. You're giving yourself the gift of completion. Every weekend drive in your finished Mustang validates your decision. Every car show conversation connects you with fellow enthusiasts. Every mile driven proves that smart choices lead to satisfying outcomes. The classic car hobby is changing. Younger generations prefer modern performance over vintage charm. That means more affordable classics for retirees who appreciate automotive history and craftsmanship. But it also means your restoration window is limited. Parts suppliers follow demand. As interest wanes, reproduction parts become scarce and expensive. The time to restore is now, while the infrastructure still supports your project. Your Mustang restoration connects you to automotive history. You're preserving a piece of American culture while creating personal memories. That's worth more than any financial return. The framework we've shared today isn't just about cars, it's about making smart decisions with limited resources. Whether you're choosing a restoration project, planning a vacation, or making any major purchase, the principles remain the same. Buy for availability, buy complete, match your skills, buy the best you can afford, and set realistic expectations. Your perfect retirement restoration is waiting. Maybe it's a 1967 Mustang Fastback with factory air conditioning. Maybe it's a 1965 coupe with a 289 V8 and 4-speed transmission. Maybe it's a 1970 convertible with power steering and power brakes. The specific model matters less than following the framework. Buy smart, restore smart, and drive smart. Start your search today, but remember, the best car is the one you can afford to finish. Your garage doesn't need a trailer queen. It needs a driver that brings you joy every time you turn the key. What's your dream retirement restoration? Drop a comment below and let's discuss how the framework applies to your specific situation. And if this video helped you avoid a costly mistake, hit that subscribe button. We're building a community of smart restorers who value completion over perfection. Until next time, keep your dreams realistic and your garage productive. The road to restoration success starts with smart choices, and your perfect project car is out there waiting for you.